When you say, I'll never make it, I'm not built for this, I'm always messing up. That's not self-awareness. That's not realism. That's not honesty. That's faith in failure. Most men think a negative thought is just that. A thought, harmless, fleeting, private. Something that lives in the mind and dies quietly. But here's the uncomfortable truth that most never realize. Your thoughts are instructions. Your thoughts are blueprints. Your thoughts are orders to your future. You can lie to yourself, but you're not gonna lie to me. You're not simply a product of your environment. You're a product of your inner dialogue. And if your mind is polluted with doubt, fear, weakness, and excuses, then everything you build will contaminate by day. Because your mind is always obeying the dominant belief, always following the script you feed it. Every time you whisper, I'll never be that guy, you reinforce an identity that rejects growth. What if you actually believe that you're being shaped right now for something massive, that every obstacle is training, not punishment? Your mind is a supercomputer, but you're the programmer. Think of your mind like a search engine, like Google. Type in a question, why am I such a loser? And it'll put up every failure, every embarrassing moment, every mistake you made since you were a child. How would you walk? How would you speak? How would you attack your day if you knew for a fact that this pain is a part of my process? This delay is building my patience, not blocking my path. This failure isn't the end, it's the furnace of my future. So when you say something casually like, I'm just not motivated, I suck with women, I always be broke, you think you're venting, but you're actually training your brain to prove you right. It's a decision. You choose it, you stand on it, you fight to keep it alive, even when it looks dumb, even when no one claps, even when the progress is invisible, even when you don't want to. And this is the trap. Most men live inside of a prison that their own psychological hands built. They whispered self-doubt so long that it became reality. They spoke mediocrity so often that it became reality. They've repeated failure in their heads so long, and now they don't even try. The most dangerous phrase a man could say, let me tell you something chilling. The most dangerous sentence you'll ever say is this: that's just the way I am. When you speak confidently before you win, people think you're crazy. When you act like a king while you're still broke, they call it delusion. But later, when the vision manifests, suddenly you're a genius. Oh wow, he's a genius. Suddenly it all makes sense. You weren't born lazy. You weren't born addicted. You weren't born timid. You weren't born average. You became that. So don't wait for the crowd. Don't wait for confirmation. Don't wait for the right time. Choose the new belief now. You stop applying. You stop risking. You stop dreaming. You started shrinking. And now you walk around calling that your personality? It's not. It's a script. And the good news is, scripts can be rewritten. So if you're gonna believe something, you better not believe in your downfall. You better not believe in disqualification. You better not believe in your old identity. Repetition is power when you use it on purpose. There's a reason why commercials play the same line over and over again. Why songs repeat the same chorus. Why propaganda works. Repetition wires belief. Belief drives behavior, and behavior creates results. Believe in your becoming. Believe in your rise. Believe in the version of you who's already on the way. So if you want to build something powerful, something elite, you must become ruthless with your internal blueprint. You must become aware of your dominant thoughts. You must catch the weak voice in the act. You must choose new commands and install them daily. Let's talk about something rarer than talent, something more dangerous than rage, something more magnetic than charm. Conviction. Conviction is power. Conviction is clarity. Conviction is the man who doesn't flinch, even when the world laughs at his face. You were never meant to be average. That quiet frustration you carry around, that constant sense of, I should be doing more, that invisible pressure in your chest, reminding you that this isn't it. That's not weakness, that's not confusion. That's the real you, the high level you, trying to wake you up. Here's the truth. Most men are curious, not convicted. They're interested in success, not committed. They want proof before they move. They want guarantees before they grind. But the men who build legacies, the men who bend the world, the men who move without applause, the men who build without permission, they speak the future before it arrives. That's conviction. That's what separates someday talkers from right now doers. They silence the voice. They bury the hunger. They numb the fire with distractions, comfort food, endless scrolling, meaningless nights. And they wonder why they feel hollow inside. But let me ask you this. What if the missing piece isn't motivation? It's not talent. It's not timing. What if it's simply the thoughts you allow to repeat to yourself? And that's the secret most people miss. Faith creates the future because it lets you act like it already exists. Rewind this statement and listen twice. When you believe it's already yours, you stop playing small. You stop second guessing. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And you start asking, what needs to happen next? Here's the truth that should shake you, break you, or motivate you. Every man is building a future. The only question is, what kind? Some build it through conscious design, brick by brick. Others build it by accident, with random, careless thoughts they repeat without knowing. Conviction turns your goals into standards. It turns your desire into non-negotiables. It turns your hope into strategy. You don't wish for it. You work like it's already done. And when your actions match your belief, you become dangerous because now the outside doesn't control the inside. You're not waiting for validation. You're not swayed by opinions. You've already decided. Because make no mistake, if you keep thinking like a nobody, you will stay one. If you keep narrating weakness, your life will reflect it. If you keep obsessing over what's missing, you'll never realize what's already inside you. That's the mindset of the elite, the mindset of the bosses. That's how winners think. That's how wealth is truly built internally before it ever shows up in your bank account. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader of my own mind. I don't beg for opportunities, I create them. I don't fear failure, I fear settling. I don't escape my problems, I solve them. I think powerfully, I act precisely, I live intentionally. Say that before the world wakes up. What would you start today if you had unshakable faith it will work? How would you walk if you knew your breakthrough was around the corner? What would you change if you actually believed the universe was responding to your intentions? Because it is. And if you don't believe that, you've been brainwashed by the wrong system. Remember, the most successful men you admire, they didn't think their way to success one time. They trained themselves to think like winners until it became who they were. Because the secret isn't a strategy, a shortcut, or a life hack. It's a shifting in thinking. It's looking at every obstacle and saying, this isn't here to stop me. This is here to shape me. It's facing every doubt and saying, this isn't truth. This is the old programming. I choose a better thought. It's waking up every single day with a clear, powerful thought. My reality is a reflection of what I choose to believe. And then choosing better, choosing stronger, choosing thoughts that build the man you were born to be. See, the system teaches you to wait, teaches you to play it safe, to be realistic. But greatness was never realistic. Conviction isn't logical, it's spiritual. It's the quiet voice that says, I was born for this. This storm will not break me. I'm building something that doesn't exist yet. So if you're tired of being stuck, if you're sick of feeling like you've been falling behind, start thinking like the man who's already ahead. That's how you bridge the gap between who you are and who you're supposed to become. You stop being the man who reacts and become a man who creates. Because if thoughts are things, then the most powerful and important thing you'll ever build is the man in your mind. You can't see it, but the world can feel it. And soon they'll see the results.